So in the first module, the first chapter, you got a introduction, a very silly introduction into the history panel and what the history panel's for. And I would deter you from using the history panel as an undo panel. However, it does have a great use, and that is with snapshots, and that's what I want to show you right now. Snapshots are a great way to create some interesting effects with a photograph and have flexibility to go back to previous states. So let's look at the history panel, and that's this panel here, this icon, the three states and the arrow. And let's take a look at what we have here. I'm going to actually do some options, and oh, I can't do what I want to do. So, well, enough of forget that. I thought I was going to be able to increase the size of my thumbnails. I was not. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. Let's say I want to manipulate this photograph, but I want to have the flexibility to go back and fix some things. Like I'm gonna do a couple things, and I'm gonna create what are called snapshots as I do it. First, I'm just gonna do like a really quick levels adjustment, just kind of darken things up. Click OK. I'm going to create a snapshot. That's this little camera down here. Easy to remember, right? Camera, snapshot, nothing to it. And now I'm even going to do, I'm going to create like a artistic effect. I'm going to go in here to the filters, and let's try, actually I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to use watercolor, but we'll get into this dialogue and play around until we find something we like. Actually, watercolor might be it. Let me back out a little bit so I can see. Let's see, and now let's make it a little bit more aggressive. Actually, move that out. Yeah, maybe not. Let's try something else. Sponge. Look at the size. Let's make that size really big. How about that? I'm looking for something fun with the background here, and I'm not liking what I'm getting. So let's see here. Let's try this one. Nah, it's not doing anything for us here. And filters is, it's kind of a fun thing, but something you just got to play with. I mean, I have a few that I like to use on a regular basis, but well, that's not what I want to sketch. There we go. Let's try. Boy, I'm just not having much success here, am I? Texture. Oh, here we go. This might be something. This might be better. Let's try stained glass. Okay, yeah, for argument's sake, that's fine. Let me make the cells a little bit larger. Yeah, there we go. That's fine with me for now. it's gonna do the it's gonna do what I want it to do. Okay, so now I've done this, but because I've created snapshots, I have some flexibility. That's what I was looking for here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called the History Paintbrush. There we go. That's what I'm looking for down here. So that's the History Paintbrush. And what it's going to do is it's going to paint one of those previous states for me. Let me get my brush size up here. I'm using the bracket keys. If you're having the rendering issue, that's actually pretty common. That's a fight between NVIDIA and Adobe. Two giants, and neither of them are budging. So you're not the only one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on that snapshot, and now I'm going to paint with this brush, and you can see that it actually paints her back. So that is what this is for. It gives us some flexibility. So I can do this, and because I've done with the history brush, if I do, oh, oops, now I can actually, what I should have done. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create another snapshot because I want to be able to paint back and forth. Okay, so paint that. There we go. Now, oops, there we go. I can actually grab this other snapshot and paint back. That's what I was looking for. I can also create like a softened effect. Like I can change the opacity of this brush just like I can any other brush. So let's change the opacity down. So now I'm painting, and the mosaic, or let's see, what was that? It was the stained glass is kind of knocking back a little bit, but not completely. I can even take it back even further. Kind of make a little bit of a vignette, if you will, with it. So I have some kind of a strange, interesting, maybe interesting background if you could come up with a better filter than I did there. But you can see the possibilities there. So you can have it, you know, both ways. Now, one thing important to point out about snapshots: they do not save. I'm hoping that they're going to fix this in CS5. Haven't seen CS5 yet. I'm hopeful. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, have fun with that one. Check it out. History Panel and History Brush snapshots, fantastic tools. Give those a whirl.